I got an antique camera. It's fully functional. The film it uses is also large format. 1 by 1. There are 50 sheets in a box. This film has an anti-reflective coating on the back. Can achieve distinct blacks and whites. It has a very high resolution. With this ultra-high contrast, we can use it to do some very fine work. Like the previous neural chips and microfluidic chips, they are all in the micrometer scale. Templates used to make them. Photoresist masks are also in the micrometer scale. Since it's only in the micrometer scale, this type of camera film can be used to make photoresist masks. It also has a large area, can hold 3 slides at a time. Very cost-effective. Let's take a look at the camera structure first. Hold the lens with your right hand, and gently pry the lens with your left hand to remove it. It's that simple. Try the shutter. No problem at all. Let's put it back first. Snap it in place. Press down and it's secure. The focusing screen is a piece of ground glass, which is a piece of frosted glass. His bracket still has a spring. Gently pry it open and you can place the film holder. The same when taking it out. Just pry and pull it out. Set up the camera and align it with the pattern on the wall. Open the shutter. You can see it. Not very clear. Cover with a black cloth. For easy observation. Let's take a look. This is what it looks like to the human eye. Focusing with the naked eye like this clearly won't achieve the micron level. We want to focus to a resolution of about 20 microns. Using a 10 times small magnifying glass, stick it on the frosted glass. Adjust the camera's focus through it, and we can achieve a micron level resolution. Now, we can only see a small part of the middle, because this frosted glass has a grainy texture. It's difficult to see very clearly. You can only do it by repeatedly adjusting the bellows length back and forth. You'll get a feel for it after focusing a few times. Now, take out the film holder, this black shutter. It allows the film to remain in complete darkness. Let's go to the darkroom to operate. First, take out a piece of film. There's a notch here in this corner, used to distinguish which side is the aluminum surface. The other side has an anti-reflective coating. With this layer, any stray light that passes through won't ruin the image. After the film is loaded, close the shutter. Place the holder in front of the camera lens. The shutter is closed. Now pull out the film shutter. Because this film has a low sensitivity, the exposure time is extended to 20 seconds. Anyway, it's mostly still life photography. Waiting a little while doesn't matter. Okay, put the black shutter back in. Then pull out the film holder. Okay, now we have to go to the darkroom for the next step. Arrange in order. They are developer, stop bath, and fixer, respectively. And plain water. Lastly, rinse. Take out the film. Be careful not to scratch it. You must be quick when putting it into the developer. Also, you need to have a timer ready. Let it soak completely. Start the timer. A total of 2 minutes and 30 seconds. You can gently agitate. It's news time. Take it out and shake it. Then put it in the developer. Soak it. Or shake it. Wait about 30 seconds. The specific time depends on the situation, depending on the operating temperature at the time. Then put it in the stop bath and shake it. Finally, rinse it clean and you can turn on the lights to observe. Let's see what it looks like. Wow, it's great. Very clear. Perfect. Looks very clean. The micron level photomask is complete. We still need to test it with a slide to see if it works. Put the clean slide into the spin coater. Fix it with a screw. First, let it spin in low speed mode. Slowly drip the photoresist onto it. Then switch it to high speed mode. At a speed of 3,000 revolutions per minute. We can use centrifugal force to make the photoresist thin and even. That's about it. Let's see how it looks. There are some gaps on both ends. It doesn't matter. We don't need the ends either. We mainly use the middle and we might need to use more photoresist next time. It works. It's just adequate, you could say. No problem. Put it on the hot plate and bake it for a minute. To quickly cure the photoresist, prepare the simplest photolithography machine, fixed on top of the tube. That 70-watt metal halide lamp without a shell. Use it as a point light source. Emitting ultraviolet light is very suitable. First, put the slide in place. The black felt underneath can prevent reflection. Cover with the photomask made of film. Which pattern do you want to see? Align that pattern with the slide underneath. Cover with a glass plate on top. Make sure there are no gaps between the layers. Remove the light shield. Start the exposure. Set the time. Expose for a total of 5 minutes. The move is complete. First, put it in the developer. You can't see the difference with the naked eye now. Just add the developer. See? There are patterns immediately. There's a faint purple color. Shake it. Shaking it, you can see the dissolved substance. It's time. Take it out and rinse it clean. The result after drying is ready. See? The details are very clear. Use magnetron sputtering to deposit conductive titanium metal onto it. There's no reaction yet. I don't know what's going on. Why aren't you lighting up yet? Oh, okay. It's purple now. It looks like that titanium metal has oxidized. Oxides are very difficult to deposit, so the instruments are all reading 0. It's been a minute now. The color is a bit lighter now. The value here has changed. Almost there. Now the color looks basically normal. Feels a little greenish. Yeah, it suddenly becomes more intense. The current state is very good. Immediately turn the slide that's been set aside. Align it with the magnetron underneath. Just let it run for 8 minutes. Finally, put it in the petri dish. Dissolve the excess photoresist. Just spray it with acetone and it can be easily removed. See? It is removed very quickly. Then brush it gently with a soft brush again. Acetone will only dissolve the photoresist. The titanium patterns deposited on the wafer will not fall off at all. Don't worry, after cleaning is complete, we still need to observe the effect with a microscope. Well, the effect is still acceptable. Even though the patterns are so tiny, the details are still quite good. You can clearly see many small black dots around. Those are some gaps and depressions on the background wall. They are recorded by the camera. Replacing it with a clean background wall can solve the problem perfectly. In general, this method is perfectly fine for making micron-scale chips.